So when I segue, it will always be. Anyways,
we're on.
Cool. We're back.
Yep.
We're back. As I said, we called it, and there's a lot of reasons that this is happening. And if you were on Twitter or if you're on any social network, you are gonna be seeing that Rory Mal are not back on the podcast.
Man, it was crazy, bro. That the fact that like we did that show, and then like bam, it just like they never came back.
So yeah, let's talk about a little success on our end. So yeah, we put this clip up. I texted Jeff. I think we were at like, I think I got 200 views in like one day, and I was like, wow, okay. I went to bed, and then I texted Jeff, and I was like, yo, it's at 10,000 views. So I think I deserve this story to give a little bit more background of what's going on, and we're gonna give you an update. So the podcast is coming to an end in the sense that Rory Mal will not come back, and quite frankly, we were talking off camera. Yeah. It's way better.
Yeah, way
better. Ish and Ice. I love those guys. I love that guy. It competes with Drink Champs now. Like it just opens. It opens the range of people that can watch it, that can relate. It's not just gonna be a younger audience.
And it's cool that he's like bringing on like he's had a couple like different
Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
We're gonna conjoin these two topics.
He's had a couple like little like changes to the whole like thing that are kind of like, you know, a little bit better.
I just feel that they're able to cover more topics. Yeah. I feel it's a lot better.
I find they cover it a lot better without arguing.
Agreed, and they all add a very each bring a perfect amount of their own like pizzazz to it. Like Ish, I'm trying to remember their names because they don't use their gummies, you know, which is crazy to me. Ish is the light skinned guy, the big guy that I think, Joe, he is talking into the mic. You're hating on him for that. But he always has a very balanced opinion. And then Ice is just a way better Mal. And he can say a lot better. He can just elaborate better. He can explain a lot from his life. Mal can go, Rory can go. I'm not going to miss them. But why did this happen? Let's break that down.
No idea.
So apparently there was contract talks. We already covered that in the last video.
Yeah.
But this is more of an ongoing scene. So as we know, DJ Academics left Complex and rumored to start his own podcast and whatnot. But if you look at the underlying thing of what's going on, DJ Academics have been beefing with Rory and Mal for the last year, like disrespecting.
Well, there was that time where Rory like rolled up to his house and like
we covered exactly. So basically, Joe and Academics, they were talking about starting a podcast, and Rory and Mal were like, no, if you do this, we're gone. But like, man, it'd be the most powerful podcast ever, and like, who are you to say this? So see you later. So apparently that mixed with contract talks caused this eruption. And hey, imagine making 481 episodes with a podcast. Like, bro, that's long enough to. Like, that's a lot. That's a long
ass time.
So I'm gonna leave it at the fact that.
How many years did it go?
I was going to school in Toronto in 2014, and they were on episode 43 because I was listening to it on a Greyhound bus, and they actually started with a girl, which is named Marissa, Madi with the body, and she was there from episode 0 to 91, and they kicked her off because actually Rory and Joe were just really misogynistic, and
she just bounced. She's
they were rude, and like the topics of conversation a girl shouldn't be there for. So they decided to kick her out, and they brought in Mal at episode 92. So Joe, Rory, Mal, or anyone from the podcast, if you're watching this, I've been watching for a long time and know what's going on. So then they brought in Mal at 91, and then from episode 91 to 92 or 93, I can't remember which one, to 491, it's been Rory, Mal, and Joe. So they've had a long run. I give them a cheers to it.
But it's like whenever like remember? Oh no, you don't remember. I was gonna say Fresh Prince. Whenever like
talk to me. Look at my hair. I'm halfway there.
Whenever the other whenever they change out the wives.
Oh, Vivian.
And Viv,
yeah, add Viv, of course. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. I noticed, and I was like, what?
same thing happened with Cosby. Traded her out.
That's what Bill Cosby did in out of court. If anyone got that at home.
It's horrible, horrible. But yo, people also just like DMX, man. People shit on like, yeah, he was a rapist, and yeah, he was really fucked up. But bro,
I get it. Musically, I
the
can
Cosby
separate the
Show
artist.
was like a show where you learned a lot off of that show. Like,
it was a little young for me. It was more your time, because like
crazy.
I only caught reruns.
Yeah.
Well,
Even I only caught rerun. That's how old it was going.
is he still in prison, bro?
Bro, he's in jail forever.
Forever,
He's
right?
like 52 counts.
Did you catch the Kevin Samuels on Joe Budden's podcast? We'll just mix them together. We'll talk.
Yeah,
about it. Let's talk.
100%. Yeah. So good.
I'm gonna let you go first.
Me go first.
Yeah. No. What did you think about it?
Yo, to be honest, I liked it, man. I love that dude, man. He's so eloquent.
Yeah.
The guy is just one of those
Very
guys.
blunt.
He could talk about anything.
He comes from corporate sales.
That's what I mean. Like and you can tell that he can literally just like be like that about anything. He could pick a topic and just like smoosh the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I
his
mean?
shows are good. Like when he came on the Joe Budden podcast, I thought like Joe was gonna press him on a certain issues, but Joe was like super walking on eggshells and apprehensive because he didn't want to say anything too wild, as he said on the podcast.
Well, he
prior.
didn't want to like come across, because he does probably have a good female viewership, and the guy says some stuff that might not be like girls don't want to
let's
hear.
just point out, like, if you haven't heard this guy, apparently, so if you're a high value man and you make over $350,000 a year, he says like the reality of marriages are most of those guys are cheating, and there just has to become an arrangement and understanding.
An acceptance.
Yeah, like most of those guys have options, and like he really to me to even elaborate. I feel dirty saying it, but man, this guy is slick as fuck, and like
so slick.
like damn, bro.
He'll
Like,
have these women on his show and have them almost agreeing with him after a while. Like, yeah, you're right. I don't deserve that.
yeah, but the craziest thing he does is this is great. This is great. So he looks and he goes, "Ma'am, I'd like you to rate yourself from 1 to 10. You can't use 7. What are you? Or you can't use a 7 or 8. What are you?" Yeah, and the girl like to say you're a 9 or a 10, you need to know you're. So it basically says like you're either hot or you're not. And he has a series of questions, breaks it down to the woman.
It's crazy.
Anyways, it was a good podcast. If you didn't go watch the Joe Budden and Kevin Samuels experience, that was pretty good. I can't talk about it because it's such the content is so eggshells, and like we're still on the come up. So I'll leave it at that. Ladies, go watch that shit. Learn a few things.
I don't know, man.
Can you even begin to unpack what he said? Like I can try.
Like there's a lot of like male unpacking to do as well, though. Like if you look at it and you listen to the same things if you listen to the same thing he's saying and then kind of like throw it on yourself too.
Of course.
It gives you a little bit of like realization too. Like
well, what's your sexual marketplace value? That's
what's your value? Like
do you? He's very blunt. He's like, do you have
like how much do you make? What do you look
exactly?
like?
He's like, how many kids do you have? Like if you have, he's like a high value man will never go after a single mother in the seriousness of that. The kid is always gonna come before the man, so a man would never want to enter a relationship like that. So a high value.
And that's the thing, though. He's talking about specific kind of man.
Single mother. Yeah, I know. He talked right as of late. He's talked about high value men, but as if you look at his come up and his catalog of stuff, he talks about middle class, high value, and whatnot, and because of recent he's become viral with his lady clips. But if you really break down, he goes of the realism of being a middle class man, realism of being a high value man, realism of just being an average, and he even says a lot of the times the middle class and the lower class couple is happier than because there's so much more stress on a higher value relationship because
there's so much value at stake.
A lot of realism is talked, and a lot of it's people don't want to hear. People need to hear it, and I feel like that's why he's so popular, because he's refreshing.
It's hard in like a narcissistic culture for somebody to accept the fact that they're like a 6
We're trying to
or a 5 or whatever. You know what I mean?
I don't know anything
Like,
about
that's-
that. But I want to call it
In general.
Like I myself would probably want to call in, because I think we'd chop it up. I'll tell them I'm trying to chase him down to get him on an interview, guys. I'm trying to get him for an interview for you guys.
Oh,
so I've been reaching out to him, and we'll see if that comes about. He's all about helping young black entrepreneurs. So let's see if he follows up. And I sent you an email. Check your inbox, and we'll talk. We'll talk soon, Kevin. But I've taken what you've had to say in a lot over the past few months, and it's been interesting. And at the end of the day, hey, you know, I want to hear more, and the talks came just in time for summer, because I got a short leash for you girls. Yeah. But yeah, no, go check it out. It was great. The next topic is, what do you want to cover? Here, let's cover. I want to talk about it, because we called this one too. The Nelk Boys are over. Coming up next.